Hey guys, this is the Board Game Rundown, and this is a huge stack of games that we want to give away to you guys for subscribing. So check out the video with all the details. And now on to your regular scheduled programming, however they say that. Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Dan.
And I'm not Spencer.
No, it's Jeff. Jeff's sitting in today,
That's right.
and he brought a special top 5 just for you guys. We'll get into that later. But this is the Board Game Rundown, most importantly. Today, we are going to talk about games we played, news, Kickstarter, crowdfunding, and then our top 5.
Yeah.
But first, we are still doing our subscription giveaway. You will notice that 3 games are missing because we got to over 300 subscribers.
Yes.
So we get to 400. We're going to give away another one of these games.
Yeah.
So we still have Innis, Adrenaline, Giganto, Trogdor size codenames, Bora Bora, and then the combo pack of Marvel Splendor and Half Truth.
Yeah.
So we are still, for the month of February, we want to drive up subscriptions so we can give these away. And if we have to give all of these away and then come up with some new ones, that's cool too. We'd rather be in that boat than not.
Yeah.
So again, though, thank you guys. Congratulations to the winners. Everybody else, do not give up hope.
Yep.
We still have 14 days, 2 weeks.
Something like that.
Your winners' games are OTW.
Yeah. And yes,
So keep an eye on your
as
post.
of filming, the 3 winners games have shipped out the door. So that was Lost Ruins of Arnak, Mansions of Madness, and the Marvel Champions and the Rise of the Red Skull
combination.
So that is that for announcements. So let's get into games we played.
Yeah.
And I will start. I'm light on this list, but I want to say that a very special someone had a birthday just this past week.
Who?
Wasn't your birthday?
Oh, no, what's my birthday?
Oh, okay. Well, for his birthday party.
It wasn't special.
Yeah. So some other guy, for his birthday party, we all went out and did VR gaming.
Yeah.
Dan.
Woo!
Happy
Me.
birthday, Dan. He's 30 now.
Thanks, big
Old man
30.
Dan.
Yeah.
And he...
Now I can start talking about like crappy old games like you guys talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when you go to stand up, you'd be like, and make the old man
I've done
noises.
that for a decade already, man.
But we did a bunch of VR gaming at a local place here
Yeah.
in the South Bend,
Amazing.
Mishawaka, Indiana area. And if you have the opportunity to do such a thing,
Do it.
highly recommend. It was awesome for us because it was a private party situation. So COVID-wise, they take a lot of precautions. It's very
Yes.
sanitary. They
They're
clean
very
everything.
public on Facebook about all their sanitation
Yep.
stuff
Cleaning
they
procedures and stuff.
But, we didn't even have to worry about that because it was just our group of
Right.
people. And it
So
was
much fun.
fantastic.
Yep. It was a
Yeah.
zero latency type of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was like, big free roam. You've got a backpack, a gun, and a headset, and
And-
you're
nice.
in the game.
Yeah,
giant
and,
room.
So
and a
cool.
headset, so you can't even,
Wow.
you really can only hear like in-game
Yeah,
conversation.
it's fully immersive. Like
And when
you
you're-
are in the game.
Hey! When you
Hey!
get on a moving platform, it messes me up. Like when
Yeah.
we're getting on those gondolas,
standing
every
still.
time
And
when the gondolas
everything around
stop,
you's moving.
I go like that every time. Every
Yeah.
time I get on that thing.
It's my favorite thing is when you like go on a moving thing like just like an elevator or even just like walking up a slight ramp in the game and like you're like inching up the ramp and your brain is like I'm walking up a hill right now.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
feel like you're going
You're
uphill.
walking on flat
Yeah.
ground.
The other thing that I was so proud of us is we went into that that zombie game where you have to survive.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, well, try not to die. You'll probably die.
Oh, yeah,
we only had one guy in our
One
group
guy.
die one time.
Yeah.
We were like
On
the best team.
Yeah, we were
We
really
were
nice.
such a good
And
team.
he only died because we kind of abandoned
We
him.
did kind of abandon him. He was up.
He had
by
to cover
himself.
like 3 doors on his
So,
own.
so Tim was the one guy who died, right?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
No,
oh,
Tim and I had the one side locked
Who had
down.
top score? Oh, it was me in
on
that,
game.
Well, you know,
Yeah, in that game.
you shoot everyone else's zombies.
Well, mistakes happen,
Hey. Yeah, no, actually, Bob and I ended up kind of like back to back
Yeah.
for most of it.
Yep.
And-
Taking off guys.
And it was
covering
just like,
3
okay, Bob,
entrances.
turn around, check,
Yep.
behind you, and then back over,
Yep.
I mean, They
did
got
pretty good.
close a few times, but never really.
No, as soon as
in
they started
danger.
getting over the barricades, I switched the shotgun. Blam, 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 gone.
But it was awesome. It was awesome. So
It was
happy
good
birthday,
times.
Dan.
Yeah.
That was a good time, man.
Yep. My favorite game was probably Soul Raiders. If you ever SOL Raiders, if you ever have a chance to check out Soul Raiders in a zero latency VR arena,
Do
it.
it.
Was incredible.
Yeah, 4v4, and
Yeah,
it's like
it
you're
wa-
playing like a Halo.
It was like
type
playing a
objective
Halo
game.
or Call of Duty in real life.
real
You're
life.
running
Yes.
around,
Jealous.
Running around, hiding behind walls, shooting people.
yeah, completing objectives. Like,
Yep.
oh my god,
So cool.
Anyway,
Super
good
cool.
stuff.
Super jealous.
yep. You should go. It's really cheap
Yeah.
for what you're getting. It's
Yeah.
What you're
incredibly
getting,
cheap.
yeah.
It's a great
One of the most
experience.
fun experiences I've ever had playing a game or anything.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
All right, guys. So board games. What you guys
Back to
play?
board games.
What you guys play on board games this week?
Played a couple.
Let's see. I got and played a new game that I think, Tim, you might have played. I don't know.
Ooh,
but if you
Champions of
haven't played,
Midgard?
well, basically, I got and played Reavers of Midgard.
Oh, okay.
Have you played it
Yeah.
yet?
No, I have not.
I think you'll love it, Tim.
Really?
It has so many similar mechanics to Champions of Midgard. It's insane. It's like, okay, I understand what this, because you've played
Sure.
Champions. I understand. But it takes a lot of the luck dice out. And
Okay.
so you're still rolling dice, but you're setting them on your player board on whatever face, and then you choose what you're doing with those dice. You're saying, okay, I can go there. I have these faces, and I'm going to challenge that and kind of thing, right?
Okay.
But other than that, it's really similar, but a lot of people say it's like the Euro version of Champions of Midgard, and
Okay.
I 100% agree. It's the Euro-y version of Champions of Midgard. I honestly, after only playing it once, I think I like it more than Champions of Midgard.
Wow,
I
you
do.
love that game.
I know.
Oh,
I
wow.
loved my experience with this game. It's super well made.
Well, I will definitely try it.
Yeah,
I do
I
enjoy-
really think you'll like it.
Isn't like the player board a long ship, right?
Yeah, your
so you
player
roll your
board is
dice,
a
you put them
long
all on
ship.
your long ship, and you're like, all right, let's see what we're gonna come
yeah,
off and raid.
and your
Yeah.
worker is your boat, and you're basically saying where you're sailing to,
Yep.
and then doing actions there and
Nice.
everything. Yeah,
It's pretty neat.
But
That sounds
so
cool.
another Grey Fox game,
Yep.
know, because made by the same people as Champions, and I loved it. I
Yeah.
can't wait to play again.
And also After the Empire.
Yes.
Filling Kickstarter's
Yep.
filling now.
Yep.
Mhm.
We have an unboxing of
We
the
do.
Empire here.
Woo! That was quick.
It was quick.
All right, Bob. What's one on your list?
So after we played the VRcade, we went back to Dan's house for some cake and ice cream, and we got to play Detective Club. Woo!
I finally played Detective Club.
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
what'd you
What'd you
think? It
think?
was your first time playing.
It was cool. It's not like a mind-blowing game to me. Those
Sure.
games never are, but it
Right.
was fun.
Still
My
fun.
sister actually
Yeah.
had her mind blown. She wants to go out and buy it. She literally for like 2 or 3 days after that point, she kept asking, "What was that game we played? What was that game we played?" Like she keeps like looking it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Detective Club. Go ahead and explain really quick. right?
Yeah, so it's like one person is going to write down a word on these little pads of paper on all but one. You're going to randomly hand them out to everybody else. And then you're going to play these cards that have crazy artwork on them and that relates to the word that you wrote down.
Now, don't you determine your word maybe by the cards in your hand?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're the one doing it, you're going to look at your cards and be like, okay, yeah, these 2 cards are pretty good.
Sure.
So that way you can kind of convey your message a little bit, right? And so you're going to play your card. Everybody goes around. You're going to end up playing 2 cards each. And then everybody's played their cards. Whoever wrote the word down is going to say what the word was and why they played the 2 cards they played. And then everybody has to go around and explain why they played the cards they did. So even the person who didn't know what the word was and was just kind of looking at what everybody else played and just making it up as they go, now they have to explain why they played those cards. And depending on how good of a BSer you are,
Right.
you get away with it or you don't. And
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
my
much.
sister had a really good one where she was the conspirator.
Conspirator
is
is the
what they call
name.
it, right?
Yep.
And the word was artistic, I think. And luckily, she played a card that had a crown and a frog on it. And she said, "Oh well, one of my favorite stories is The Princess and the Frog."
Yeah.
And she just totally BS'd her way through it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone voted for her.
Yeah.
I think Catherine might have voted for her, but only because Katie voted for Catherine. It was like a spite
Right, it was a
vote.
spice vote, not an actual vote. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really cool.
I really enjoy Detective
Yeah,
Club.
it's a fun one.
I just bought it for my wife for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, because she always likes to play my copies.
games that she likes. It better, she better have it by the time this episode airs.
Yeah.
And I don't think she watches.
Oh,
That makes
wow.
sense.
Wow.
What do you mean? She likes Bob. She likes me. She likes Jeff.
Yeah, why wouldn't she watch?
That's it.
Yeah, yeah, but sometimes there's such a huge negative. You're like,
Yeah.
I hear that crap all week. I don't need another dose of it.
Yeah.
So happy Valentine's Day to Tim's wife, I guess. Right?
That's kind of how it goes in the house.
Yeah.
Here, happy
Here.
Valentine's Day, I guess.
It's wrapped in an Amazon box, maybe.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
You play any games this week, Jeff?
The last game I played was Tidal Blades with you guys.
Okay.
It's
Hey.
super
Enough.
dry, but
Nice.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
No,
But-
Tidal Blades Zero. There's water all over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
We have a
Tidal.
review to that somewhere.
well, we do. I don't
Yeah.
know where though. Do you want to? Point out where it is.
No, I don't know.
I will say.
Oh, I was
There it
gonna.
is. I
I'm
was
glad I
over
left
here.
it to you because I was gonna go to Bob.
Oh, man.
I will say though,
Fool.
I would complicate the score because I would give it a 7.0.
Oh.
Decimal points,
That
the
is
fractures.
complicated.
So
yeah.
I don't know how the
So
math
just,
would
yeah,
work
so
out
now
on
you got,
that.
now you got to watch the review to see
You
how
have to
Jeff's,
carry the
you
zero.
know,
Yeah.
score averages out our score.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But yeah, I like Tidal Blades. That was fun.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
pretty good.
what
I
else
have
you
one
got?
more. Sure. I played. It's actually sitting right over there. I'm
can't
excited
see
to
that.
talk to Bob about this.
Okay.
Because Bob's been looking for good pirate games lately.
have.
And I will say, you guys might think this sounds terrible.
Okay.
I thought it
I'm
sounded
listening.
weird.
Okay.
And then I played it, and I had a great time with it because it uses a lot of rudimentary kind of mechanics. So it's called Plunder, A Pirate's Life. And the reason I say that is because it does have roll and move in it, although it is you can mitigate it slightly.
Sure.
And the fighting is just each player rolls a die, and whoever rolls higher wins. But you
okay.
can mitigate it slightly.
Sure,
So there is some mitigation. But basically, I wish I could show you the components. The components are great. You have these little boats that you start off with, and they have peg holes in it. And you have 3 pirates. Each boat starts with 3 lives, and the pirates are like little red pegs, but they do have a tiny pirate hat on them. So they're just the coolest looking pegs ever. I love it. And then you're sailing around. You know, you roll a die to move at the beginning of your turn, and you can split that movement because you can build more than one ship. So if I roll a 6, I can split my 6 between any of my 3 ships. You know?
I'm interested.
You go to ports to trade, and then it has this. Honestly, I wish I'd played this a week ago. It would have made on my negotiation list easily.
Oh, okay.
Because the way all you're getting like gold and meat and steel, and that's how you're building your upgrades for your ship with. And so you pull into a market or you pull up next to another player and you can just openly negotiate and trade. Be like, hey, listen, you got any steel? You know, what are you looking for? You know, I have wood. You need wood, you know, and it's just this pure negotiation game.
Okay.
If you pull up to a market, it's open trade with everyone. You can just be like, hey, what does
Nice.
everyone have? I need
Nice.
this.
Nice.
And then, yeah, you just deal whatever you guys want to each other.
That
And then
sounds pretty good, actually. Yeah.
you go to islands that have skulls on them and you battle those instead of players. So if it has how the cannons work in the game is it gives you +1 on your combat die.
Okay.
Right? So the same thing goes with skulls on islands. They're like AI +1s.
Oh,
so if
sure.
you go to an island that has 3 skulls, it has +3 whatever die. So you better have some cannons, you know?
Right.
And then if you conquer an island, you put your little flag on it. That's 1 victory point. Every boat you have is a victory point. You get things called plunder points, which are just cards that are victory points.
Okay.
And then whenever you seek an enemy ship, you get a victory point.
Right on.
And basically
point
just first to
salad.
10 points wins. Yeah,
Okay.
point salary. Whoever gets to 10 points wins. And so you upgrade your boats with cannons, which again just like plug into your ship with pegs,
Nice.
and sails, which plug into your ships. And
So
so
the sails give you like +1 to movement?
yeah, exactly. You get up to
Nice.
2 sails. You
That's
get up to 2
fantastic.
sails, and you get and though that movement is just added onto your die, right? So I could roll a d6 and get 6 movement. I could move my one ship that has no sails 6, move him the whole 6. This ship has 2 sails, so he gets 2 free
2
movement no matter
movement.
what.
Sweet.
So
I
I
love
just
it.
move him too.
Nice.
This sounds really good, Dan.
Yeah, I was just
I'm-
saying I can see why people. It has really mixed reviews because it uses roll and move. It uses
Right.
it uses spinners to pick certain spacements on the board because it has like a grid
Sure.
around the board.
Sure.
It uses like these really old mechanics, which I think it's a reprint of an old game.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
From what I've seen, but I was really like, I got to talk to Bob about this because this game really captured pirate feeling for
Nice.
me.
No,
The
that sounds-
sailing, the
Oh,
board,
that
the
sounds
attack.
really good.
When
Right.
you pull up next to another player, right? I could say I'm going to attack you, right? And we would roll off, or I could be like, maybe you don't want me to attack you, and you can bribe me to not attack me, or I can threaten you. I'd be
Oh,
like,
okay.
if you don't give me a gold,
Right.
I'm attacking you
Sounds-
this turn.
Sounds a bit of like a negotiating.
I know
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I'm
what he
saying.
said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this game easily would have made my negotiation list.
Yeah.
You're constantly
So,
talking
so
to each other.
basically,
Funny.
would not be on the list that Katie and Jason.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It'd be
What
too
I'm saying.
good.
Right.
Yeah,
Clear
there's
that
too
list.
much negotiation to be on the board game mechanics list.
Let's just say it has slightly more than Deception or Hawkeye. But anyway,
The only thing I'm still really missing that I haven't seen in a pirate game yet that I'm interested in
Uh-huh.
is hidden movement.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
when you watch a lot of
You need
like
like
pirate shows
You
and
need
things
like
like that.
fog of war kind of stuff.
exactly,
right?
like
so-
these merchant ships are out and you're doing your thing, but you don't know from what horizon, or where they're going to be coming
Correct.
from. So I think that'd be super cool. And all of a sudden you come around an
No.
island, you're like, there's my
Bob,
pirate ship.
There's hidden movement in Captain Sonar.
Yes, there is.
sure.
Right?
Yeah,
If they
sort of.
just rethemed that pirates, which they could easily do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would be
Oh
sick.
yeah, you could.
Could
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
You just take out the dive
Exactly.
and
yeah.
and everything else, like because you got your ships, or like your hull integrity and all that
your whole
stuff is
integrity,
still
you
going
would
to
have
all
Yeah.
matter.
full mast movement versus half mast movement
Yep.
and everything.
Oh
Yeah, and all
boy,
that stuff.
guys.
You guys can get that idea.
And
for
it even has the
free.
name
Trademark.
Captain Sonar.
No.
so
No, TM, you did it. It's ours.
Trademark.
Dibs.
It even the name even from Captain Sonar could easily be turned into like Captain Black or
Yeah.
Yeah,
Captain
right.
Black Fleet or something,
Captain
right? And-
Yeah.
Blackbeard.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that'd be sick.
Captain
Anyway.
Plunder.
Anyway, a Plunder of Pirate's Life. I'm gonna try to get Bob to play this at some point because I think he'll enjoy it. We'll see
I
how it
want to
goes.
play this game
And
too.
it goes up to 6 players, and each player can have 3 boats.
Wow.
And the
That's a
board
lot
is
of boats.
modular.
Okay.
So like, I just
Yeah.
so much
yeah,
stuff.
there's so much in that game
That's a
for
lot.
such a game that came out of nowhere. My mom literally just bought it and sent me a picture saying, "Hey, ever heard of this?" I was like, "No," and that was it.
Wow,
All right,
that
cool.
sounds cool.
Yeah.
So for me, the one game I got to play this week, actually, I've technically played 2, but the first one, we been trying to. My daughter likes to read, but sometimes we gotta like make her like not play on iPad or with her
Sure,
buddies. And
sure.
be like, come on, you need to just read for like a little bit. So we try to get like 20, 30 minutes a night. So I bought this game like 3 years ago, and I've been waiting for her to be old enough to play it. And I'm like, you know what? She's old enough now. Stuffed Fables.
Oh, okay.
So Stuffed Fables is like a storybook game, and the board is actually, so there's a book, and it's got like a ring binding, so you can open it up and it lays flat, and then basically kind of like Gloomhaven, but
Jaws of the
before,
Lion, yeah.
but way before Jaws of the Lion, right? You've got your objectives and everything on one side, and then this is the board, and and it tells a story. So it's kind of along the lines of like Mice and Mystics as well.
Okay.
But this story is like a little girl. She gets her own bed, like her big girl bed, and so at night now, all of her stuffies come to life because she's not protected by her old crib anymore. So now the stuffies come to life, and you are playing the stuffies as like things are coming out from under the bed to like try to scare her. So you're trying to help keep the girl asleep. The theme is really cute. Some of the minis are kind of creepy. Like they're
Okay.
these like doll heads on like spider bodies.
Yikes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Go to sleep, little girl.
Bear fuel.
But she had a really good time. And again, like I was just like, okay, well, read the story.
Right, you got her to read without her
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
knowing
like,
she's
okay,
doing-
so just read what's happening. And then I'm like, okay, so what do we need to do? And she's like, well, it looks like we need to, and I'm like, perfect.
Nice.
Boom.
Awesome.
So, and it
Boom.
plays like campaign style.
Mhm.
So we're just going to
Play through it.
play through it,
Nice.
Cool.
a couple times
Awesome.
a week.
Yeah, that is
and
a beloved family game.
trick her into reading a little bit. And then we'll probably move on to Mice and Mystics after that.
Yep.
And then I'll talk about the other one real quick because I just played it with Clark because
Okay.
he's 4. I've got this little game called Push a Monster.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's this little raised up platform with these wooden monsters on them, little flat pieces. And then what you do is you roll a die, and it's going to tell you which one you need to
knock off. or
to
whatever.
to put on. So you're going to add it. So it gives you these
Oh.
2 sliders. It gives you a wider and longer flat piece, which you put your monster on, and then you got like a smaller version of that piece, and you push
Okay.
it onto the platform, and then like those coin games, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
then you get the
Okay.
monster
that you knock off.
that you knock off, and you get like a tile,
Mm-hmm.
and that tile has a size. And so some of the monsters are bigger, so it takes up more
Mm-hmm.
space. And then what you do is the winner is who has the longest row of monsters at
sure.
the end of the game.
Okay. Neat.
I mean, it plays in like
Yeah, I
15
think you
minutes.
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about that before.
And it's a great little kid's game.
Mm-hmm.
For him, it's just kind of working on dexterity,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he just was happy to be able to sit down at the table and play a game.
Right.
So yeah, Push a Monster, great little kids family game. Like I said, my 4-year-old played it.
Yep.
The rules are very light. So that's what I played.
All right.
Anything else?
Yep, I got another couple quick ones. Taverns of Tiefenthal.
Love
Played that.
No
Had been a while since I
way.
played it. My
Love
buddy came over, wanted to
Taverns
play it,
so much.
and I was like, okay.
if you say so.
Yeah, if we must. So yeah, we played that, and then that got over like about 2:00 or so. So we wanted something quick, so we played Quix, which is a quick little roll and write game.
How
Uh,
cute.
I know, one of the first ones that I played, got me into it. I've shared it with all types of friends and family, and they like it. And it's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, Quix is great.
Yep.
It's great. There's other games that I like more, but
Sure.
for what it is,
For what it is.
Quix
Yep.
is fantastic.
Yep. That's
All
all
right.
the games I played.
Is that it?
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
All right.
all right. So we're going to go on to
That's it.
news then, right?
News.
Yep.
Sadly, there's only one news
News
boy
Again.
here.
I'm getting
No,
used to
it
it.
was his birthday. He's now a newsman.
Oh.
He's had
Oh,
his
your
news.
voice got deeper.
He had his news mitzvah.
Yeah, his news mitzvah.
Wow.
Yeah, where's your news cap? It's got like the little like the press tag
Propeller.
in the
yeah,
front.
exactly. and an
No, he got
antenna.
rid of the propeller.
Oh,
It gets
okay.
the little white press
Oh
tag.
yeah, the
you
press
know.
tag. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
press on there.
And an
Yeah.
antenna, so I'm constantly getting live information.
This just in.
Yeah. So the big news this week is that Asmodee purchased Board Game Arena.
Yep.
Board
Yep.
Game Arena is a really nice, I've used it a bunch of times, online game site. There's a bunch of free games, and I think you can pay to play some games. They can randomly assign you opponents. You can play with your friends. I played Dice Forge on it a bunch.
And what's nice is if you're someone like me who is not a paying member, if you know someone who's a paying member,
They just have to host it.
yeah,
right?
they just have to host it and invite you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Asmodee buying it is going to change anything
Yeah.
about it.
They've already said that there are no current plans to change how it works.
I think all you might do is have more access to
Asmodee
the
games.
Asmodee library, which is 95% of the market.
yeah.
Large part.
Yeah, Board Game Arena, nice thing if you guys haven't tried it, because, you've heard of Tabletopia, you've heard of Tabletop Simulator. Nice thing about Board Game Arena is it actually kind of rules the game for you.
Yes.
It's not just free-form physics
Right.
engine like the other games. This is like, no, you tell it what it's going to do, and the game keeps track of everything for you.
Right.
You can't. That's an illegal move. You can't do it.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's
Which is
more of a
helpful.
browser format, so it's not going to like,
That's true. Tabletopia is as well, but it's both.
Sure.
well, it's not going to like kill your hard drive. I'm saying to play like
Oh, yeah,
Cthulhu
yeah.
Wars, for instance.
Right. That will kill your browser.
And the rest of the world.
Yeah. So, news that what?
So I have a quick question before you go into other news about this. Is this like a rare thing for like a company to like
Own
purchase
everything?
like a board game, online board game like
Well,
playing
Asmodee-
area?
Asmodee, I don't think so. Asmodee has been doing this for the last 2 years.
They've
right?
been gobbling up like smaller publishers and things like that.
Yeah.
So I
They
think
also just had the best year they've ever had, I think, too.
Yeah.
I think I heard that.
so I don't think that this is too weird or shocking. I mean, some people are going to be put off by it, but those are the people that are going to be put off by like the same large companies kind of owning everything, and I get that, right?
Right.
The Disney.
Yeah,
thing.
Right.
exactly.
Gotcha.
But it is what it is. If it keeps, I guess, in a way, for me, it's like if it keeps Board Game Arena going and available, at either
It's a good
free or
Right.
Without drowning out like other competition.
right,
Yeah.
right, then it's a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and at this point, like I said, they've said they're not changing anything. That could change, but at this point, they're not changing anything. So basically, it just sounds like they had a lot of money. They saw the potential of income from Board Game Arena, and they were like, let's buy that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just a smart money move at
Sure.
this
Right.
point.
Yeah, it's a business move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So news I'm excited about coming to Kickstarter in March. Not one, but two Australia expansions.
Is
They're
it
going to
the
be
one
coming to
I
Kickstarter.
mentioned earlier?
So there's Revenge of the Old Ones and Tasmania.
Yes.
So I think I only knew about
Whatever
one
it
of
is.
those.
Well,
Or maybe I didn't know that those were
Gonna
two
be
different things.
Yeah,
I
we
thought
didn't have a date either.
I thought maybe Revenge of the Old Ones, Tasmania Revenge of the Old Ones might have been like the whole
the
title.
whole title.
Sure. What I said, I talked about this in the news segment a while ago, and I said Tasmania is coming, and then I said, and it will be compatible with the other expansion. You said there isn't another expansion.
that's right.
And I was like, oh, maybe that's coming
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So you are
It
correct.
is.
That is exactly how that went down. And yes, I was wrong. There is another expansion.
Well, I was wrong too. I just assumed the one was out already because the game
Right.
was so popular.
Sure. And then two more things. For fans of the Kids on Bikes role-playing game, which is supposed to be like the Stranger Things,
Yeah.
they are
okay.
making a board game. It is going to be, what is it? The Snallygaster Situation. It's available for pre-order now, I believe, on Renegade Games, and it's $60, and they're going to be shipping them in July of this year. And then for Dan, for his birthday, I thought he'd want to know right now, USopoly, I think, is doing this huge push for Care Bears Monopoly. You're welcome.
Oh wow.
What?
Because caring is sharing.
Is it not called like Care Bearopoly or something?
No,
Usually
I don't know.
Usually they just throw the word opoly
Right,
on
just-
halfway through a word.
Bear a lot of opoly.
Yeah.
But so Care Bears Monopoly. I
Okay,
didn't mean
wow.
to take your one bit of news,
No,
the
it's
Care Bears Monopoly.
Whatever,
but
Dark Heart.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow.
Fantastic.
Deep cut.
So that's my news. Bob, you got some news?
Yeah,
that
yeah. I got a
if
little bit of
didn't
news.
Step on it.
Yep. No, you didn't. So Deepwater Games, normally they use Oxide Media to sell a lot of their stuff, but they're starting to migrate all of their products over to their own website.
Okay.
So deepwatergaming.com, you can go there. 'Cause they're the ones that make all the Welcome to games. And they got some other ones. And with this announcement also came another announcement that the street date for their Kickstarter that just kind of ended was the 7 Summit, I believe it was called.
Okay.
You can. It's from the designer of Sagrada, so I know Dan's interested. But you can go to their website and you can pre-order it there, where you can still get all like the exclusive and promo cards that they offered before.
Sure.
But the release date is going to be March 12th. But if you go there and pre-order it, they'll ship it to you nowish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nowish is always nice.
Nowish is
Nowish
nice.
is
When is that?
Let me see.
That was then.
When
That
will
would've been soon. But yeah, that was
Right
that
on.
was my news.
That's good.
Okay. I got a couple little things. The first thing that I just thought was interesting was I just randomly came upon this, so you guys might know about this. But we talked about Red Rising recently.
Yeah.
Stonemeyer's new game based on the book series. I just randomly found Jamie Stegmaier has a YouTube page. Actually, he does it on Facebook Live first. He does Facebook Live podcasts, and then he uploads them to his YouTube page.
Right.
And I would just say if you're a fan of Stonemaier games or anything, to check those out because they're very informative. He
Yeah,
talks
and
about
also
his-
you should go check out the Between Two Castles review that's linked to
we did do that.
their webpage.
We have it here, but also you could look through them. So it's really informative on the behind-the-scenes stuff in the company. He's very transparent.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there are legal things he cannot talk about, like a game he's working on right now, he'll just say, I cannot talk about that right now. But other than that, he's very transparent. And what I basically wanted to say was I just saw that 2 years ago, he uploaded a 30-minute video, talking about how he just got the rights to Red Rising, and he's working on a game for it, and he cannot figure out how to make it. And it's just a really interesting video of him talking about he's like, I'm trying to make it a deck builder, but that's not working. And it's just really cool seeing his thought process as the designer, and now to see this game is out 2 years later, he figured it out.
Especially since they got the IP without
out having the game concept. For
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
he
really
says it's his
interesting.
favorite book series he's ever had, and he tried really
That-
hard.
That I say that would be an inspiration to do it.
Yeah.
yeah. Because I recently purchased the first book
Oh, nice.
and started listening to it. I'm most of the way through it. It's pretty good, but I'm kind of curious what he's going to do with the
Where-
game. You know,
yeah.
like how's it going?
How
and obviously
is
there's
this going
more.
to translate
Yeah,
over?
yeah.
right?
Obviously, there's still more to go with the books because it's very open-ended right now.
Sure.
You know, 'cause it's
Cool.
the first book, and there's a bunch of them. So
Yeah, cool.
it's,
But
pretty good.
I would just say if that interests you, just the Stonemaier behind the scenes in general, if you like science, if you like viticulture, he announced Pendulum on this before anyone else knew, so that kind of stuff is cool. But then I thought this was really interesting to see a behind-the-scenes look.
I do appreciate that, peek behind the curtain,
Sure,
and how the sausage is made sometimes,
No one really knows.
Oh my gosh, I knew it was happening. I couldn't stop it. I saw it coming. And I was like, no.
And then the other thing really quick, Tim is going to be so excited to hear that another expansion was announced for Villainous. But so this one's going to come with Gaston, which is going to be really weird.
No one fights like Gaston.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah like Gaston.
You're great.
No one cheats at other board games like Gaston.
Yeah, there we go. Does that make
so
you the Josh Gad Toady-like character?
Yeah.
Okay. just checking. He's Gaston.
I'm weird about how they're going to do it, though, because Gaston's first objective would be woo the girl that doesn't like you. So,
That's
Or
a
kill the
little
beast.
problematic.
Yeah, kill
so-
the beast.
Kill
that's
the
what I'm saying.
beast.
Are they just going to skip it and go kill the beast? See, because
Probably.
if you're doing it like
Yeah.
the movie and like they've done before, they would do it like Radigan, right? Radigan's one of my favorite people to play because his objective is get the robot. Yeah, have you guys seen Great Mouse
Yeah.
Detective?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so get the robot queen to Buckingham Palace, right? If you can't do that in a certain amount of time, you flip your thing over and he turns into Beast Radigan, and your objective is now kill Basil. And I love that. It's so thematic. You're playing through the movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do something like that with Gaston then.
That's what I'm saying. So it would make sense for them to do that. It's just that how
Yeah.
are they going to
Well,
word
you can
what
you
you're
can
doing?
try to woo Belle.
Woo Belle
and then
before
when
a certain time.
Yeah, and if she doesn't fall for your wiles,
Sure.
then
Exactly.
you're
That's
like,
what makes
well,
sense thematically.
now
I'm just saying
I'm
it is
just gonna kill the
weird
beast.
that if you know the backstory, he's hitting on a girl that is like, please stay away from me.
Where are the
You know?
pictures?
So anyway, so Gaston is one, and then the other ones. So Lady Tremaine from Cinderella,
Oh, okay.
and then the Horned King from Black Cauldron.
Ooh.
yeah,
Yeah.
Black Cauldron
Those
stuff.
are the three getting added
That's
this time.
super interesting because that's like the black sheep of the Disney anime.
I know.
Well,
I know.
it used to be, but
Well,
now it's like the hipster choice,
Yeah, it's
right?
like a cult thing.
Because you
but,
saw
like,
how you and eyes
Colts,
lit
I'm in.
up about Black Cauldron, but that's because we're hipster.
Yeah. I just want
guys
to
when we
say
love
I read
cinema.
the books before I knew there was a movie.
Oh, I watched that movie
Wow.
when I was a kid before I knew they were books.
I haven't seen or read any of it.
Oh, Black Cauldron's cool.
Yeah.
It's really interesting how like dark, because you're gonna watch it and you're like, this is a Disney movie, but it was at a time when Disney actually also, if you put it in perspective of when it came out, like Disney was in big trouble.
Yeah.
And like floundering,
Oh.
and like Little Mermaid saved Disney when they was it Bob
Rightfully
Iger
so.
took it over,
Something like
that. Anyways, this has been Half-Assed History with Tim. You're
What a
welcome.
great segment.
Next week we
That's all my
tackle
news.
Marvel.
Oh god.
Yeah. Okay. Any other news?
Nope.
Okay. So crowdfunding / Kickstarters.
Yep.
I've got
one.
2.
Okay.
I got Uno.
Cult of the Deep is funded, going strong. There's
Yeah.
still a lot of time left on it. I mean, look at this game, guys. It's
Super
it's
cool. Can't wait
really
to play
good. Great components.
Yeah.
We got a video covering it right here.
Yeah.
I was sad that I had to send it along
Yep.
to other reviewers because I really wanted to keep it, so now I just got it back.
Yep. It is really similar to Bang the Dice game. If you like a game like that, it's similar to that playstyle with a bit deeper mechanics, a bit more mechanics,
Yep.
and cultist themed.
Cultist.
So
It's definitely meatier and really amazing components.
Yep.
I'll let
Sure. So the game's called Human Punishment: The Beginning.
This title confuses me.
A little bit. So it's a
Seems-
dystopian cyberpunk city,
Seems so
right?
familiar.
3 to 6 players. Does it?
Seems super familiar. Almost as if someone else on this panel talked about it at some point.
Did you really?
last week,
Who said that?
me and Spencer both talked about this.
Spencer
one
wasn't here last week.
Spencer wasn't
Okay,
here
then
last
I
week.
got 2 weeks ago.
Okay, that. But yeah, so it's a 3 to 6 player game. A little hidden trader kind of thing. Different factions. Looks pretty interesting.
So
Yeah,
interesting.
Apparently they already talked about it. I missed them. Apparently I missed it. They started
what
talking.
They, what
I'm
they
like,
did is they
Yep.
incepted Bob, though.
They
Like,
did.
He heard it in
Yep.
his dreams.
It might have.
An idea.
Yeah. Just a spark about it. You can't kill an idea.
Yeah.
It's just weird that it was like Tom Berenger telling you this the whole time.
Yeah, pick up delivery, semi co-op. Supposed to play in 2 hours or so.
Yeah. No, I mean the design of the game, like the graphic design, and it looks really neat.
Yeah.
The concept sounds really cool.
They're touting it as it could compete with Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's an IP I really like, so we'll see. Although it is dystopian and cyberpunk, so
Right. I mean those
it's
things
got
are going.
it's got a chance.
It's working for it.
Yeah, it's
But
working
let's
for it.
just pump the brakes on that. Like,
A little
let's
bit.
give Battlestar Galactica, Danny
Yeah.
Uncanny,
Yeah.
a run for their money. Jeff.
Yeah, so this is one I saw. It's made by a Japanese guy.
It's Human Punishment.
Have you heard of it?
I can't believe I didn't remember you guys.
It's called
talking about
Human
that.
Punishment Tokyo. No.
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift.
This is called Zen Tiles. I don't know if you guys saw
Okay,
this
just
one or-
ZE and tiles.
Yeah.
Okay.
like like the Buddhist Zen.
Sure.
It's this guy. He wanted to make a game that made kind of meditation and reflection more accessible to a mass audience
Sure.
with principles of Zen Buddhism.
Okay.
So he made this game that has like this mat, and it kind of looks like a kind of rock garden. It's not really,
Okay.
but it's like circles and lines, and you have this kind of ruler with some numbers on it, and you put this ruler on this mat, and you have a pile of like glassware stones
Okay.
with feelings labeled on them. You take like 8 of these stones, you place them on this mat at different places because from the ruler or whatever, and basically you sit down and reflect on it, and it's kind of supposed to help you meditate, and it's also supposed to be a journal. It's like a 1-player thing.
Weird.
Yeah, it's super weird, but it looks super interesting. I don't know like if there's like a actual like goal of the game or whatever you want
Sure.
to call it.
Achieve
but
inner peace.
Yeah.
achieve inner peace, yeah.
I feel like you're describing something you dreamed about,
Yeah, right.
and that
No,
this
it's fine.
isn't a real
It's
thing.
just a game I'll talk about in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Bob's like, I've been really getting into meditation.
Yeah, it's like lately, and I think I might have one inner peace.
Right.
Right on, though.
But
Yeah.
it's already funded, so it looks like
So Dan
it's-
would say it's safe.
yeah, it's,
Yep.
it's safe. And if you're interested in like learning more about meditation or Zen Buddhism, I'd say like check this game out and see if it interests you at all. And
I wasn't gonna talk about this, but because it's kind of similar to that idea, I'll talk about. I saw someone Kickstarter. It's not really a game, but like it's in that section, but it's a bunch of like acrylic, like semi-transparent tiles that have words on it that are like personality traits and like not even personality, but like self-doubt. Right?
Oh, interesting.
And like I don't even know, thoughtfulness. I don't know, just words like that. And they have a bunch of notches all over the tiles. And what you're supposed to do is build. You connect them all, so you think your self-doubt has something to do with how thoughtful you are.
What's
right?
up with you guys in the
Whoa.
Zen games?
I know, that's what I'm saying. And you
week?
build it, and you get this 3D structure that is like your personality and what creates you, and you leave it like sitting there.
Oh, that's kind of
You know?
cool. Actually,
I thought you'd love it because you mentioned
Yeah.
that. So I was
It's
like,
actually really
I'll
super
bring
cool.
that up. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, unfortunately, but it's on there right now.
Personality building game.
yeah. So first of all, I'll mention Reload. I talked about it last week. It only has a couple days left, so by the time this airs, it might be over and in late pledge. But I already talked about it last week. And I just wanted to
Dan's
mention
name's
it
going to be
again.
on the box.
Yeah, evidently.
That's why he wants.
You need to get
Chris.
the board game rundown on the box.
Well, yeah, I should have promoted that, but like I'm a selfish.
I don't know that I would have thought of that either at the time.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, sweet! ABERLI.
But it's a battle royale board game. Which when I first heard that, when I was first looking, I was like, "Oh, battle royale, such an overdone cliche at this point." But then as I played it, I was just realizing, I guess it's overplayed in video games. Like now that I'm
Sure.
playing it in board game form, I've never played a game like this. So I guess this is actually a clever thing to try to get into this market like this. Like I know there are battle royale games.
It
right
is a
now.
hot theme right now.
Yeah. I
How
know there
would
are
that
some,
even
but I haven't played any, and the
work?
ones that I've seen don't look great to me. They're very simple card games and stuff. I saw one and stuff, and this really captured that feeling. So, if you like that battle royale, it kind of has the Fortnite graphics. If you like that, whatever. But if you like that, check it out.
Do you have to know how to do Fortnite dances?
I was like, yeah, well, teach me how to floss.
No, but you could though brag
I can only-
like,
I can only do-
just killed you.
I can only do like this one. 'cause
You
Take
Clark
like
does it.
pieces of the board away after certain rounds so that they're
No,
going to become
you
smaller.
cover them. You cover tiles in gas, and
Okay.
that does push everyone
Ooh,
together.
that is
and-
like actually like battle royale.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the,
a-
the
Oh,
tiles
you're in a
get-
kill zone.
The tiles get covered in gas, and they move in, and you can move through the gas. But if you end your turn in the gas, you take damage, right? And you can get equipment that stops that and everything. But anyway, Reload by Colossal Games. Check it out. The other thing, I was having a rough time this week, honestly, finding Kickstarters that interest me, other that we hadn't already talked about.
Sure. Human punishment.
And
right?
literally, and literally this morning, I came across a game. I don't know if it's brand new or not, but called I Am Not the Thief. And I love games like this.
Houston, we have a dolphin.
Yeah,
this seems like
exactly.
right along those lines.
Well,
of
this is
titles.
a game that is very similar to. I wanted to create a simple card game, and I just haven't gotten to it because it's so basic compared to the other stuff I'm working on. But I don't know if you guys have heard of the game Papers, Please. But
Oh, yeah, Papers, Please.
I kind of wanted
Yeah.
to turn that into a card game where
Okay.
one person has a fake personality, and like blank cards, and everyone else has kind of a basic description of who they are, and they have to convince the person, no, listen, I'm Mary, and they have like a story they tell, and the guy lets everyone through but one person. Right?
Okay.
Like that's kind of my basic
Sure.
idea.
That kind of feels like almost like Sheriff of Nottingham almost.
Almost,
little bit.
yeah,
Almost.
but like in a pure bluffing like personality game. You're
yeah.
acting, right? It takes my favorite part of Sheriff, which is getting in character and acting, right? But so I'm not a thief. It's by Exit Games TCG, 3 to 9 players. It's about half funded right now, but it has like 20 some days left.
Oh,
It'll
sure.
probably be fine.
I'll have to look at that.
$25, and then there's a pledge for 2, 4, and 10 copies.
Sure.
Just that. And shipping in May 2021. But basically, you just hand out a bunch of cards, and the cards go in a card sleeve that has a hole in it that's see-through, right? And so the top of the card is just a picture. So like the example I wrote down is Ant Farm, right? And then the bottom of the card has a sentence that you have to work into your description. So it might under Ant Farm, it might say, "I am their god." Or something, right? And then that is why you own the ant farm. One person's card that's handed out, one person's sleeve, that the hole is covered and it just says thief or stolen or something like that. So they can't see the description; they just see the item. That's what was in the box that was stolen, right? That's what we're all in a warehouse. There's a ripped open box. Who stole it? We don't even know what was in that. Who took
Right.
it? And then basically you just go around the table and you have to describe, like, listen, I just have an ant farm, and you just tell a quick story using
That's like
that
when we leave
theme.
and Bob can't find his lost ruins of Arnak. And it's like,
Exactly.
look, this is just splendor.
In a different box.
It-
In a
you know,
different box,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
And yeah, you just kind of lie using that basic theme of I am their god. So it's like I've always wanted pets, but I didn't want the responsibility of having a dog. And with an ant, they're at my whim. I have these things, right? And you just use that idea, and you go around the table. Everyone says it, and obviously the guy just has to say, "Oh, I have this because of this reason." So they will have a picture. I'll
Completely
have
make it up.
this because no one knows what was in the box. So I
Right.
have this, but for this reason, and then everyone kind of votes who they think is lying, and you get points based on that thing, right? So it's just this
Okay.
pure lying game.
I like
based
it.
on the
I like
cards. I love that idea. A super simple, cheap little bluffing game.
Yeah.
Great
right?
idea.
So anyway, that's I Am Not the Thief.
I love games you can just screw people over randomly.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not live yet, but it will be live when this video comes up. I don't have a lot of details, but I just want to tell people, point them in the direction. And it's funny you were talking about Battle Royale style games. Bloodstone from Skybound Games is going to be launching on Kickstarter. It is PvP, PvE. It is going to be on Kickstarter 2/16/21, so just in 2 days from when as of filming. And it is, and I believe them when they say this, Kickstarter only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simon.
Right. Looking at you.
But so this is going to be a Kickstarter only. If you go to their Facebook page, you look up Bloodstone or you look up Skybound Games, you can't miss it. It's all over the place on there. And the minis look awesome, guys. You know, I like minis.
Yeah.
But worth mentioning also, completely different since I don't have a ton of details on Bloodstone, but hey, check it out. I believe this is one of GameFound's first crowdfunding projects that's not Awaken Realms.
Yep.
Okay.
So Lucky Duck Games has Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising, and it is way funded.
Yeah.
Way funded.
Kingdom Rush has been something that's kind of been around for a while.
It's been around. So this is a fully cooperative standalone board game for 1 to 4 players that offers the ultimate tower defense experience for the tabletop. So yes. Anyways,
So
it's got
they
a
say.
whole bunch.
Allegedly.
Hey, look, the models look great. It's got a whole bunch of different components and things that are unlocked. I can't say. I guess you could still say stretch goals.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't think Stretch Goal is copyrighted.
Right, but anyways, it's going gangbusters. If it's something you're
GameFound's got
interested,
some cool stuff.
GameFound.com.
Yeah.
They need an app like Kickstarter.
Correct. That,
So
would, that would make it a lot easier to browse and pledge and stuff. But yes,
Because I'm too
would
lazy
think they're
to
working
go
on that in
to
the
my
background.
browser on my phone and type in GameFound.com at the top.
Yeah.
That is
You
a
could have
lot
ended
of-
the sentence
you-
at "I'm too lazy."
Yep, and we would have gotten that.
Yeah.
The whole
Accurate.
picture there.
But yeah, just worth mentioning.
Yeah.
So anybody
beans.
else?
Nope.
Fresh out.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it for crowdfunding. On to the thing that I don't have a top 5 list for.
Oh my gosh, I was so
I'm just
excited.
doing it as a topic.
I've got some amazingly weird ones for you guys.
Okay.
Well, I
You're-
wrote
what-
down
what?
5.
Yeah.
But,
so-
I mean, it was my topic, so
This
I
is
better
top-
be prepared.
So Jeff pitched top 5 weirdest theme
Strangest, most
or
obscure.
mechanic.
Strange IPs, weird mechanics,
Yes.
odd awkwardness.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to hearing their picks and being like, "Oh yeah, that is kind of a interesting one that I've played." Because
I want you-
This was really hard for me.
I want you
It was
to
tough.
defend any of the IPs that I'm going to throw. Like,
Well, I already
some
know
these
one of
really
them, and I'll
weird
defend
ones.
it.
Did you look at my thing?
No, you mentioned it before the show, and you said, "Shut up, Dan."
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I?
That is true.
Oh yeah, I did. It is a weird theme.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bob, why don't you get us
Yep.
started?
All right, so my list is like a mix between weird themes and weird mechanics.
So Axis and Allies.
Yeah.
It's so weird, like guys on the map, you roll dice to
1943
fight. How
version.
weird.
No one would
Yeah.
ever do that in real life.
No, I know. Okay, so this one's got some weird activities that you do in it. It's a game I played at Julia Con. Paranormal Detective.
Oh, I love Paranormal Detective.
You're like somebody's writing on your back trying to give you a message.
Right,
You know, it's
right.
like it's one of the weirdest
Or-
things I've ever done in a game.
or like mouthing,
Yeah.
or mouthing a word across the.
you know, yeah, you're trying to understand what they're saying. Yeah, so you got weird mechanics in there. You're trying
Yeah.
to.
I
figure out
love
what
the
they're
way
doing.
that you have to. I mean, not perfectly, but the way you have to come up with all of the pieces
bits.
of the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
How they died.
What they use, the who, the why, the how.
Yeah, it's really fun
Yep.
and creative
Yep.
on how they put it all together.
Yep.
But yeah, Paranormal Detective is
Yeah,
a fun game.
that's kind of weird.
I like it. It's
Okay.
weird. That
Yeah.
is a weird and unique mechanic.
Yeah,
One down.
definitely.
Jeff.
Jeff.
So,
Jeff.
my
Every
first
time.
game,
Yep.
Is
We're ready
it-
for the really weird ones now.
is an older game
Uh-oh.
based on a really popular IP, but that's not the reason why it's on this list. It's Pac-Man It's just called Pac-Man game.
Okay, Pac-Man game.
Pac-Man
They
game.
didn't even put the in front.
Nope. Released in 1982 at the height of the Pac-Man craze.
Of course.
Pac-Man Fever.
Yes.
There's even a
Pac-Man
song.
Fever, if you will. Here's why it's weird though.
Uh-huh.
Two reasons why it's weird. So you have a board, and I'm pretty sure it's double-sided if I recall.
Ooh,
And
dual layer.
the board is the Pac-Man maze.
Mm-hmm.
But everywhere there's a dot, there's just a hole in it. Because
It's 3D.
the pellets are all you put all the like 3D pellets on there.
Setup is quick.
Setup is
They're
super
rolling all over the
simple,
place.
about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Everyone plays a Pac-Man person,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the second weirdest thing about the game.
Pack people, please.
Yeah, Pac person, yeah.
people. Yes.
No, I think Pac-Man is the race, and then person is the non-gender
so you'd be
specific.
But you have
male
Miss-
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
different race
Yeah.
So why isn't it Mr. Pac-Man?
because it's not.
Gender neutral pack person.
It's a pack person.
Gender neutral pack person
Yes.
I love it.
is a mechanical Pac-Man that actually like eats the pellets.
Hama.
Oh.
Hama. Clackety clack.
Yeah.
It actually like
Yeah, and it like stores the pellets and like part of it's like
a hungry hippo kind of thing.
yeah, like a hungry hippo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is weird.
And you also play like the
So you're each playing a Pac-Man doing it.
Yes.
Okay.
and there are only 2 ghosts.
Well, so okay, let's take
Blinky.
the 1 Pac-Man 4 ghost idea and turn it into 4 Pac-Man 2 ghosts. I love it.
I might have seen that.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was like a super weird, like kind of
Yeah.
cool, like
Sure.
way to do a Pac-Man game.
Yeah. It's
Like
definitely.
I would never
different.
have thought of it,
Right?
just to make it super literal. But
Right? Yeah,
Sure.
exactly. All right.
Someone was playing Hungry Hippos one day, and they were just like, "That's what Pac-Man does," and then they just made a game.
Yeah.
Okay,
Damn.
so my first one, guys, Solitaire. Evidently, there are games that people play alone. That's
Oh,
so
boy.
weird to me. Okay, no. So my first one actually is a game we've talked about. Again, this is like a topic for me. I'm just talking about games until I'm out of games. So this is a game that I haven't played. None of us have played. We know a lot about it. At least Tim and I do. Bob probably does. I don't know. So a game where you have to play blindfolded.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, I want to play this.
So I've talked about Nyctophobia a lot.
Uh-huh.
This is very interesting. It was made by someone trying to make a game for their blind relative, I believe it is. I don't know what relative.
Yeah.
And so one person is the killer, and then everyone else are the people trying to escape the maze, the jungle, and get to their car and get out. But since it was made to try to make it fair for people that are visibly impaired, everyone who's a survivor plays blindfolded. And when they want to move their character on their turn, the killer takes their hand and puts it on their character, and then they kind of feel around, and they just have to communicate with everyone, saying, "Okay, I'm heading west, west. There's a tree there now, so I'm gonna head north." And you're just all communicating, and you're trying to, in your mind, with all your
Picture
team
what-
together,
yeah.
picture the map and work together to find the objectives. Meanwhile, the killer, who can see everything, is just slowly moving his piece, hunting you guys down, trying to kill you, and using his special abilities to do stuff.
I
you know?
want to play this game.
It's so
Yeah.
interesting. I want to play a game
Games
blindfolded.
I would
Yeah.
not
That's
be
so
good at.
interesting.
That kind of reminds me of that game that we played. Tim, what's that one where somebody can't see, somebody can't?
Oh, yeah.
talk? You're
It's-
trying to get the
it's
blind
probably-
person to assemble a thing in a
it's,
certain
um,
See
way.
no monkey, hear no monkey.
no,
That's
it's
evil,
some
I mean.
take 3 or something like that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
forget
it has
what
a
it
name
is.
like
was,
that.
was kind of fun.
Yeah. No, that
it's
game
not on my
is-
list, but it was fun.
That game is so much fun. That
Yeah,
should
yeah.
be on the list.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah,
But I
after
went-
you described it.
But I went
yeah.
way weirder.
Uh oh.
Um,
You get real weird with it.
okay, guys, do you like space?
Yeah.
Do you like
Sorry, Katie.
pirates?
Sorry. Yes.
Space pirates.
Do you like Amazons?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you like
Okay.
ninjas?
It's like, oh.
Oh,
And who doesn't like Catgirls?
I know what this.
I'm talking about SPANC.
Oh, I didn't know what this was.
Never heard of
I
this
thought you were
game.
saying
Oh,
Smash Up or something.
I've actually played this game
Spank.
and was like, with some people I didn't know. I was like,
Oh, boy.
and I learned some things about these people. This is a Steven Jackson game.
That's why
Okay.
you played it.
No, it's not why I played it, Munchkin.
Mr. Munchkin, that's all I'm saying.
But you are basically playing a space pirate Amazon ninja Catgirl,
Okay.
and you are trying to complete challenges to become the most famous
Space
Spank.
Ninja.
Ninja.
Cat-
Oh,
Spank in the galaxy.
Space pirate.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
Spank.
an acronym.
It is an acronym.
Wow.
Okay.
But this is a game that's clearly for furries. That's all I'm
okay.
saying.
Clearly.
Sure.
If you look at all the artwork, it is all
Jeff's
like
clearly.
How did you spell that again? No, I mean the artwork is very suggestive. One of the things, like you can get people to help you. One of them's like a pool boy that you're maybe seducing. This was one of the most bizarre games I'd ever played.
See?
And when I sat down, like these guys were like, I forget what game I taught them. And then they were like, oh, I love this game. And I was like, okay, cool, let's play it. And I'm like looking at the cards and I'm like, what did I get myself into?
They're trying to recruit you.
It was weird.
Weebs.
It was weird.
See, I don't play games like this. That's why this list is hard.
So it was worth talking about.
Yeah.
So
All right.
it wasn't necessarily a bad game. It was
Sure.
just that the theme was so like,
Oh.
yeah, exactly right. Exactly
Yeah,
right. So SPANC.
Okay. I'm not sure how I'm going to top that.
Just wait till my next one.
Yeah.
It gets weirder.
I'm going to tap out now.
I'm right here.
No. Okay. Yeah. So this one, it's not so much a weird theme, but it had me doing some weird things in the game. Like you'd stand up and try to roll dice behind my back, or
I wanted to put this on
toss
the
a
list,
die
dude.
under my leg and bank it off the box and then onto the target. Dungeon Fighter.
Oh, I love Dungeon
It's such
Fighter.
a fun game. It's a dexterity game, but you're rolling dice in all types of weird and awkward ways. And
You got a character class that
you get a
might.
character class that might
give you an
restrict you or
ability
give you an
or-
ability. Yep.
I wanna play
So
this
asymmetrical
one at
player
some
powers.
point.
It's a lot of
Sounds
fun.
fun.
We
Yeah.
kickstarted
You're,
different ones.
you're gonna get
So
a
you're
you're gonna get a
chance.
chance to play it soon because
Yep.
the original one was out of print.
Yep.
They did a thing that I hate where they did like 3 different
Versions
boxes
of it. Yeah.
So Bob and I went in on two
Two.
different ones.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I just told him, because he's like, you want to go in on it? I'm like, sure.
Yep.
And then I was like, pick whatever one. I don't care. Like, and I'll just take a different one.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, 'cause
whatever.
I had
looks
thing where you can buy like
interesting.
1 or 2 or 3 or whatever.
Because
and
if
you
I
get
if I
cheap on the
started
shipping.
like analyzing it, I just would have gotten frozen with the AP,
Yep.
like trying to figure out which one to
Yep.
get. So I was just like,
think
I
they're
don't
just,
care.
Yeah, kind of just random enough where it's just like doesn't matter. Sure. Yep.
Yep. Like
Yeah.
this looks cool.
Yep.
Fine.
So,
yeah, Dungeon Fighter is fantastic.
Yep.
Horrible Guild is the
Yeah, I was like,
company.
what's? No, yeah, totally, that's the name of the company. Yeah. I was like, wait, what? No, dude, it was good.
No, it's we've always had
Yeah.
a great time playing.
Yep.
All right, Dungeon Fighter. Good one, Bob.
Good
Oh,
one.
back to me.
Yeah.
All right. This next one was released in 1985.
Oh, jeez.
What?
I played it
Quick-
once.
Quick question: is there anything from this
After.
millennia
Yeah.
on your list?
No.
Okay, just checking. Go ahead. Continue.
I was like, yes, but I was like, wait, no, the 90s was last millennia.
Yes, it was.
This apparently, I did some information on this game because I only played it once. This was like the first game as a kid I played that was not like a standard like Monopoly or
Like
chess
roll
sort of
and
thing.
move kind of thing, or yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is called Ghosts, or Good Ghosts and Bad Ghosts, depending on who you ask, apparently.
Okay,
Apparently, it was originally released in Germany?
sure it was.
Okay.
It
Weirdos.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
We love the Germans.
It came over here from Milton Bradley.
Okay.
Oh.
Who are
Okay.
those guys?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, never
Yeah.
heard of them.
But I've never heard anyone
Sound
talk.
like communists.
Yeah, right.
God.
I've never heard anyone talk about this game though.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
it's basically you have this board that's like a dungeon, right? And like you have 8 ghosts, and the other person has 8 ghosts.
So is it just 1v1?
Yes.
Okay.
And 4 of your ghosts have like a little like red symbol on the back, and a blue symbol on the back for like the other 4 ghosts.
Sure.
And only you can see like which
What
one is
what
which.
symbol your
Yeah.
ghost?
Sure, like Stratego style.
A little bit, yeah. And like you have to get your blue ghosts out, or kill the other person's red ghosts.
Weird.
Yes.
Okay.
That is weird.
Super weird.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That was
Yeah.
And you
Weird.
get them out through the enemy's lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
the
And you
exits
can only
back
move like
there.
orthogonally through like spaces.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Like a Red Rover situation.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is kind of like a Stratego Red Rover kind of thing.
Red
I
Rover,
guess so,
Red
yeah, a
Rover.
little bit, yeah.
Send that blue ghost over.
Yeah. So I can kill it.
That's
yeah,
weird.
but ever since I played it, I've never seen it in stores.
Never heard of
again,
it.
Right.
or like seen it re-released or anything. So it's like that's a very odd game. I've never like seen anyone
Yeah.
hear
Right.
and talk
Very
about.
odd game.
So,
Sure. Wow.
Weird.
Ghosts.
ghosts.
Okay. Or,
Or-
good ghost, bad ghost.
Yeah. Like,
If
I
I
didn't
ask
even
Bob,
remember its
that's the
name
answer.
before I
Good
looked
ghost,
it
bad
up
ghost.
for
I asked
this- for
Dan,
this
it's just
show.
gonna be ghosts.
So
It would just be bad ghosts.
Bad ghost.
Bad ghost.
That's a third person I
That's
got to talk to
I
to get the title of this
know.
game. All right, Dan. So
Yeah.
what's your 4th game concept that
you
you
wanna
have
talk
no
So
idea
my
that you
number
wanna
one
talk about?
my number one. This is a game that I saw a video on so many years ago, and I wanted to get it for a long time, but it was one of those situations where I don't have a gaming group at all that would play this with me. Now I probably do, but it would still be so rarely played. It's just not worth getting to me. It's called Fiasco. You guys ever heard of Fiasco?
I have heard of Fiasco.
So Fiasco is like a storytelling game.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
can
not-
picture the box.
It's not. It's just red and says Fiasco,
Yeah.
and I think there's
Yeah,
like
with,
a,
like, the
a
font.
hand
Yeah.
or something on
Yeah.
it. So it's like a storytelling game, but it's not like most storytelling games where you like roll dice and they help, or you're playing cards you help. It's almost like you make a character at the beginning based on, I think it's based on some die rolls, but it doesn't have to be. And you create a basic backstory for that character, almost Dungeons & Dragons style, right? And then you roll dice that sets up everyone's relationship too. So my character's married to Tim, who is in a business relationship with you, but I'm enemies with you. And then he's an investor trying to get into your company, but Tim knows him from a past history, and so we all have these intertwining relationships.
So soap opera the game.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole game is acting. How it works is it's my turn, right? So I set up a scene. I say, okay, Tim, you are going over to Bob to talk about the business situation because you don't like that I am getting in on this business, whatever. I already forgot what relationships I set up.
Sure.
But, so you don't like that I'm getting in on this business, whatever, and I say, go. And you guys act in character, and it's just an acting game. You're like, what are you doing
Like
here?
whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, almost. And you guys just act out this scene, and then since I think I haven't watched for many years. I think since I'm the one that set the scene, I have a white die, and I give it to one of the two of you, and that's who's going to win this argument. Basically, I listen to what you guys are saying. Which way is this argument going? How's this going? I like Bob's argument more, and you guys have to kind of come to an end of that argument in Bob's favor. Then Bob gets to set the next scene. He's like, okay, that scene just happened. And you're like writing a movie, right? Okay, well, since I won that argument, I would probably go talk to this guy. Or Tim is now going to go home to his wife, and he's going to talk about what just
Which is
happened.
you in the
Evidently,
scenario you
yeah.
set
So then Tim would set, us in
Right.
the scene, and we would act this out, and then Bob would give it to one of us, preferably you, because I just went, right? And then so the die keeps controlling who's kind of controlling the scene, and that person's setting up who's going.
Kind of
what's
reminds
the
me a little
end?
bit of Dark Overlord.
A little bit. Yeah. Yep.
I honestly, the game's played in two phases, two acts, I think they call it, right?
Okay.
So the first act is you guys each kind of get a plan based on your guys' arguments and based on a die roll or something. Like you have an end game you're trying to set up, and then the second act is basically your plan falling to pieces. And then there's an end game which is like catastrophes. You're dealing with catastrophes, and I don't honestly fully know how the game ends, like who wins,
Sure.
but
Right.
it has something to do with
I don't-
who
I-
got to their goal with the least amount of catastrophes.
I think
happening
like
or
that
something,
could be
right?
a fun game to play sometime.
I said
Yeah,
I love the sound. It's just
'cause
acting.
That's what our
you know?
werewolf games used to turn into. We used to
Yeah.
play werewolf,
yeah.
and it would be like we all had
Oh,
characters.
I run the bar.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm the Undertaker. I'm busy. Can't talk. you
Right.
know?
And then we inevitably had the friend that picked I'm
I
the
run the
town
brothel,
pedophile.
or something worse.
And everybody's like, well, and everybody's like, well, we got to kill him.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
What?
It's like,
really?
dude,
I'm not the
Why would you
werewolf.
pick to be
I'm
that?
just the town furry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Inevitably, he would always pick the weirdest
Thing
Yeah.
to
that
be.
make everybody want to kill him.
Yeah,
And then he would
town
be
necrophiliac.
genuinely,
offended that we wanted to kill him.
actually, I believe Town Necrophiliac was one of them.
Yeah, I bet.
And then
Yeah.
he's like always hitting on the gravedigger. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like whoever said they were the,
Yeah.
So
Boy,
yeah.
that guy's got hidden issues.
Yeah.
right now.
So many issues.
But yeah, so Fiasco, it's a storytelling game where almost the whole game is just you acting and basically story writing a film, and I think
Yeah.
that's so interesting. I love it.
So my number 4,
Oh,
I
gosh.
really want to play this game after reading it, almost as much as I want to play Fiasco. I think Fiasco sounds like a blast. The world's got 2 big problems. One
Tim
of them
is in it.
One of them, yeah. Okay,
wow.
3 big problems. One of them is unexploded mines left over in France after World War II.
Yes.
Okay.
The other big problem is in England. They've got all these cows with mad cow disease.
That makes sense.
So
They're pissed.
in Unexploded Cow, the card game, you are buying cows and then you are sending them to France to blow up the mines.
Oh my god.
And you get money based on if you blow up. if your
What
cows-
a terrible concept for
If
a
your
game.
cows blow up. I want to play this game.
Hey, Peter.
This man don't want to play it. I'm just saying it's terrible.
So this game recently got a reprint.
Of course it did.
And you can find it, I think, relatively easily now. But yeah, so you're bidding
Unlike
on
those mines in France.
You're bidding on cows, and the cows are gonna have special abilities. And then so that's like the first phase, and the second phase is you send them all over to the minefield, and I think you start rolling dice and you see which cows get detonated. So if they're your cows that blow up, or maybe they don't blow up, but you get points for them not blowing up. And do different things depending on the abilities of the cows. I was just like, "Are you kidding
Blown
me?
away by that? Yeah.
Are you kidding me?"
Just like a mine.
I was so shocked by this theme.
Yeah. How's it number one? I don't want to know any more. Off of your list.
Just wait till my next one.
Vu.
Just wait till my next one.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna love it.
Mine
Deja
is
vu.
much
Deja
less
vu.
weird.
Deja-
The feeling that you've heard this ball before.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
My list is way subpar.
Somebody
compared
call
to where Tim has
Spencer
gone with
because we
this.
need Spencer back. I never thought I'd say.
I mean, maybe I should just say Celtic not dice. Just
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just to get back in.
All right, Bobby.
Squared.
So yeah, I'm so sorry.
This pales in comparison. I don't know why I have to go after Tim now. I'm regretting my choice of seats. Okay.
Unexploded
So
Cow.
this is just kind of yeah. Okay. This game, it's called Alchemist. And
Wow,
it's by
great game.
Chaz Edition Games. It's a great game, but it's got a really weird mechanism where you're getting any two ingredients you have, and you're using your phone to take a picture of them, and they will combine to give you some kind of a result of your potion. And what's
Yes.
neat is on your backside of your hidden thing that you have is this pyramid with all the ingredients at the bottom. And so depending on what you mix, you're plugging into this pyramid like what results you get where those two things intersect. You're trying to figure out like what ingredients make what so that later on in the game you can make potions and predict what outcome you're going to get from those two things.
And
mixed
you
up.
can
That's
have
cool.
proven
Yeah.
theories, or you
Yes.
can just BS.
Yeah.
And you get the points now, but then somebody later on can disprove your theory.
Yep.
And the other important thing is that when you use the app, you don't have to, but when you use the app, everybody logs into like the same game.
Correct.
Because what the app does is it randomizes.
Correct. It randomizes
the-
what they are because each ingredient will have different components. Like, okay, here's a frog, and it's got a large blue plus a small red, negative.
Right.
And depending on how those mix, you'll get a different result at the end.
It
And
is
so-
sort of a weird math logic puzzle.
exactly
as
that weird pyramid thing, and then so you have this and this, and that creates this, and
This game is so brain burning.
Yeah.
I
I was
really,
gonna say.
I really
Yeah.
like it, and I
Mhm.
wanted to buy it, and then I was like, I don't
yeah.
know, man.
Sarah really enjoys
I'm
that
gonna
one, which
say
is
it sounds like you'd really like this
I-
because you really like Sudoku, and this sounds like
it's very
Potion
I would
Sudoku.
say seduction, deduction. type
Everybody
of
knows.
game.
very
Everybody
good.
knows that Bob's really into the seduction.
Yeah, it's
game.
seduction type games. Yeah.
It's social deduction.
It's seduction. Exactly.
Duh.
Duh.
Well, that's
the
not what that
Bob's
means?
Potions.
No, this game I've
Quaff
heard
this.
great things and it interests me a lot, but I've heard it's so thinky and so
It's
brain
very
burning that I
thinky.
just don't think I'll get it played with people very often.
Right.
So-
It is a really good,
It
really
is.
well designed. The graphic design, the components are all really
and you
good.
always want like one or two more turns just to figure out to make
Yeah.
sure that you've got those correct or whatever. But you gotta
because you're also kind of trying to race to get the thing.
yeah, because you want to be the first one to figure out who's the one that and if you're like they're right, then you could bet on them being right.
Gotcha.
Or you can like put down a 0-1 and be like, oh yeah, I think they're totally right.
And then get
bluff
everybody
people
else to
and get
waste
everyone else
their
to believe you.
And then you
why'd
can
you bet
go
on that? That was totally wrong.
and prove a better theory. So there's a
Interesting.
lot to
of
the game.
mechanics.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
I
lot
love
to the
it.
game. It's super crunchy.
Yeah, but I just thought that was kind of a weird thing that I hadn't seen any other game
Yeah.
before.
No,
so.
I hadn't. That's the only game I've ever seen do it,
Yep.
and it does it very well.
Yeah. So
that's a good game, Bob.
yeah, thanks.
No exploding.
This
cows.
game-
It's not
from the
exploding cows.
60s.
But I mean,
No,
Yeah.
it's from 1977.
Oh man,
oh, that sounds
Star
really
Wars.
good.
Hey,
Star Wars the
But
board game.
I'm actually, you guys, this
Like
is
Kenner.
the only one on the list I'm assuming you guys actually might have heard of.
Okay.
Okay.
Pass the Pigs.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Pass
that's
the
a great
Pigs.
one.
Yeah.
I played Pass the
I've
Pigs.
just heard the name
Yeah.
mentioned. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
My late grandma introduced this to me.
Roll the pigs.
Yeah, it's instead of dice, you have these like two little pigs that you roll like Yahtzee style, and you
Yeah.
like score it depending on how they
What
lay.
position?
Yeah,
they're in.
if they're
Yeah.
like the tails up. You
Oh,
know,
okay, yeah, and they all have cool names too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And the two best things about the game, in my opinion, are one of the box covers. I don't know how many there are, but
A zillion.
the one I know of is the two pigs in like top hats and like
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Monocles,
monocles.
smoking the like the
Fancy.
long cigarette
Uh-huh.
things. Like,
Yeah, with the
yes,
cigarette
let's
holders.
pass the pigs. and the other one is one of the positions is like called the impossible, and it's just the two pigs stacked
on top of each other.
Right.
It's like
So you
you're
kind of
never
roll it
gonna
like
get
this,
it.
and
It's
not
just-
so much like this, because like the closer they are together,
Yeah.
usually the better off you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
It was
one.
fun.
Pass the
Yeah.
Pigs is
Yeah.
fun, and it's the only game I've seen.
It's
do
very weird.
that,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
Weird.
Yeah.
So my number 3, you guys might not have heard of this. Tim, you might have heard of it. Millennium Blades.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
gonna move that up to my.
Heard of this?
I'm gonna move that up to my number
So-
3 then.
Yeah.
Oh, you had that on your list.
What? I know.
Oh, well,
All right.
what are the odds?
So yeah, Millennium
Hey,
Blades.
you talk about it, even though it's my pick first. you
Millennium
go ahead
Blades
and
is
talk about
totally
it.
unique, and I'm done with it. So Bob, what do you got? Oh,
I don't even know the game.
you never play Millennium Blades?
No.
You
What
would
a
really
weird
like
game.
it.
You would love it.
Okay.
This is a board game for Magic players.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You're literally playing through a TCG tournament. Like you're drafting cards, and the back of the card looks like it has the silver on top and bottom, like it's a
like
a
the
pack.
foil pack.
Like a foil
okay.
pack. So when you're drafting a card, when you're getting a card, you're getting a pack, and that is the best card from the pack.
You're basically just going through the rares, and
Sure,
you're throwing
sure.
everything else out.
Exactly.
So the card you get is the rare.
Okay.
So part of the game, I've only played this once. So Tim,
me
jump.
too.
Okay, but part of the game is you just building your deck. You're collecting these rares and stuff, and then you literally do a tournament. You're facing each other with these cards. Like everyone playing the game fights each other, and
Yep.
there's a winner of the tournament stuff, right? So you're playing through the sealed draft
And then you do.
Okay.
and the tournament of a TCG.
And if you, depending on
Okay.
how well you do, you get a bunch of money, and then you use that
Yeah.
to buy more packs. So
Exactly.
you're buying
Okay.
from different decks. So you're
Ah.
deck building.
exactly, so like
Deck building,
yeah, literally, right?
but you're just getting the rares out of the.
And the packs are like, anything, right? So, I know that the Flaming Sword deck has some really good cards that would help with my deck here,
Right,
right?
right.
So you would you're buying packs from that
Certain
bundle
sets.
Yeah, that
Sure.
set, and it's just so interesting.
If I
It
remember,
is.
though, the rule book is a little fuzzy. Now, that was like early on when it first came out. Like they might have
They did make
cleaned
an
that up.
old computer game that was sort of like this.
They might
Yeah.
have they might have cleaned that up a little bit, but
Well, if you're playing a TCG tournament in a computer game, aren't you just playing a TCG tournament then at that point, or is it that like
No,
fourth
it's
wall
it's
breaking?
themed. Yes, it's themed
Okay.
like that, where
Okay.
you're like the planeswalker, and you're going in and you're like
Okay.
getting these cards and putting them in your deck and fighting for this area. And,
Okay. Yeah,
I
but
played something like that too.
Yeah.
I honestly, my mind wasn't blown by the game or
Uh-huh.
anything.
it's a
but,
neat
But
concept.
they put a lot of effort into that, and I've never
Yeah.
seen anything else
And-
like
I'll
it.
check it out.
I've got to
And kinda
ask,
like-
is it anime themed?
There are the themes. It seems like they run across the gamut. Like so, you get like
fantasy themes.
yeah, because I thought I remembered
Yes.
like some superhero kind of stuff, and then I remembered like some stuff that was more like along the lines of magic, and I thought there was some stuff that was like Robotech kind of things.
Because I just want to play this, but do it a really bad like Bandit Keith.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's a
The
Yu-Gi-Oh character.
entire time I'm playing.
I was gonna say
Sound
So
like
anyways,
Swiper?
the art style is more similar to an anime Yu-Gi-Oh kind of thing than it is a Magic and Gather.
Yes,
kind
I'm
of.
but
gonna
the
play this
themes of the
tournament
decks
in America.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
I'll
Cool.
be Weevil.
It is a weird mechanic that I've
Yeah.
never seen used anywhere else.
Yeah,
And-
definitely.
And the theme is pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm glad I thought of it.
I'm glad you did too.
Yeah. So number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
All right. So my number 2.
See, that was a much easier one to follow, right?
Yeah, that was much easier.
You're gonna hate.
Thank you.
You're gonna hate my number 2. Then.
Great. So not only is this theme really weird, like if you would tell me what this theme was, I'd be like, that sounds terrible. But it also has a really neat mechanic in it that's weird that I've never
Oh,
seen
man, I know what
any
this
other.
is.
You probably do.
Yep.
Smartphone.
Oh, that was my two. That was my two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
totally.
Uh,
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's like I'm gonna play a game about making smartphones and logistics about getting them across the world and selling them to people with different apps and stuff. But
I
it's
was-
amazing.
I was
Well,
so
never mind.
anti-smartphone,
yeah.
and then I played it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I was
Yeah, and then
I
you
was
got
completely
2
wrong.
tablets with different like icons on there, and you have to action craft what actions you want to have, which is
Trademark
another weird.
Julia
yeah,
Olmstead.
That's right. And it's just I love the game. We have a review for that somewhere. Thank you, Dan.
Oh,
and
It's either 4 or 5.
We're getting
it's
close.
getting close.
It's 4.
we
yeah,
got to get a ticker for
but
your
man,
fingers.
I
it's check it out. I really love Smartphone. I haven't had a chance to play in a while. Not only is the whole entire board dual layered, but it has that really cool weird mechanic of the
Yeah,
action
it's great.
crafting. And who wants to play a game about owning a smartphone company?
Yeah, yeah.
I do now.
Yeah,
I didn't think
doing
I didn't think I did.
The
but I do.
marketing and logistics of owning a company.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could.
Whatever.
I know, right?
You could call it board game,
Yeah.
or actually now you just need to call it Asmodee.
Yeah.
And you could just like
And you
develop
can do all
and-
those
and
things,
ship
yeah.
board games.
Asmodee,
Yeah.
the game.
Like I've got deck building mechanic. They love that. I've
Yeah.
got
Exactly, yeah.
Ameritrash. Oh, that's big in the United States, but
Yeah.
nobody in Europe
We're
wants
going to
it.
make a new game. It's got nothing to do
Yeah,
with this
exactly.
game called Smartphone.
You could retheme that game to anything more interesting, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Which is so weird.
I
that
kind of
that's
agree.
A weird,
I kind
yeah.
of agree.
Yeah.
Because of the theme, I was like, no.
Exactly.
Heck? Yeah.
But the
There's-
mechanics worked for
But the
you, yeah.
mechanics are so great.
Yep.
There's my Sim City board game, guys.
I'm sure there is one. I'm sure it's not good.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Wow.
Okay, so Jeff, you're number
Jeff, what you got?
two.
Number two.
All right, so
Jeff.
my number 2 is the one that inspired this list.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
And it's still only number 2.
It's
Yeah,
only number
it's gonna
2
be
because
weird.
I have not played it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So about a year ago or so now,
Set the scene.
I was at Half Price Books
Uh-huh.
Intriguing.
in their used board game section,
Uh-huh.
and I pulled this game out.
Uh-huh.
I just stared at it for a good minute.
And you didn't get it?
Are you vamping for somebody? Is somebody looking something up?
No.
Is somebody off camera
Yeah,
going,
secretary behind the
I stared at it for a good minute because I couldn't understand why this board game existed.
Why is this existing? In?
The IP is a candy.
Okay. Candyland. If you say Candyland, I'm going to punch you.
And you're never coming back on the show again.
And it's not a popular candy that I'm aware of.
Okay.
It's one that I know, but it's not a popular candy.
Okay.
Then
Mr.
when I
Goodbar.
was looking this up to make sure I got my facts straight on this, I could not find it on Board Game Geek.
Oh, wow. They never went through the time to log it. Okay.
Right.
Wow.
And when I actually tried searching for it on Google, I only found one image of the cover.
Did you go back and get it? You might have the rarest game in the world.
It was gone before I...
Now somebody else
while
has
he
it.
was pondering its existence, which we still don't even know the name. It was gone before he even got the name.
Jujyfruits,
Oh, Jujyfruits. Okay.
Oh.
the board game.
Okay.
Ooh,
That's really weird.
that is
Yeah,
weird.
it is super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not the... But the weirdest part is the
How
picture.
long your story is to get to
Yeah. but the weirdest part about it is the picture I found online showed what the board looked like.
Oh, God.
And it's a clown, okay? Sitting back and just showing its butt. I'm not making this
Okay,
up.
so for the second time on this show, I feel like you had a dream.
Yeah.
And you were just describing something to us.
He's describing my new Kickstarter game.
the-
We'll talk about it in 2
The
weeks.
picture will be up here.
Yeah.
So-
There's a
So-
clown butt.
Keep it over there.
Yeah, keep it on this
over
side.
this
He-
side.
it's and like it's a game from the 70s. I couldn't even find a date
Wow.
Okay.
from
All
where
right.
it existed, and I'm just like,
That is weird.
So
yeah,
I
and
will
I'm
say
regretting
next
picking
time,
this up.
you mean not picking it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
regrets
regretting
not
I
not
was going
picking
to
this
say,
up. Yeah.
as a rule, if you see something that bizarre out in the wild, shoot it or buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and at HPB, it was probably like, $7 or
If that.
something, too. Yeah.
Or $50 because they do overcharge
On
ridiculous.
some things, yes.
Oh,
I think-
yeah.
I think it was about $20.
that
when I
might have been
saw it,
overpaying.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But yeah, I was just like,
Weird.
bizarre.
That's really almost as bizarre as the story leading up to it.
Yeah, definitely. I had to build it up though, you know.
Oh, you did.
All right.
You built it up.
It's built up.
So what clown butt game are you going to talk about, Dan?
no, I said my number 2 is smartphone.
Oh, yeah, your
number
number two is smartphone. Okay, guys.
How weird is that? Why would
I
anybody want to
know.
play that?
Listen, you're a wombat.
Okay.
You've got 4 babies,
Okay.
and there's a dingo trying
And
to
it's
eat
played,
your baby.
Dingo
and it's
dog.
played
Oh,
on
True story.
a clown.
Lady lost a kid.
This is game is called Wombat Rescue.
And it's played on a clown butt,
And-
oddly enough.
Here's the thing about wombats. They're super fast,
Okay.
but they can't really see very well. But they have very, very, very keen senses of smell. So in real life, what wombats do to help them keep track of where they are in their like underground tunnels and everything is they poop. So in this game, you are eating food, and depending on the type of food, it tells you how much poop comes out.
Oh my gosh.
Defecate.
Every piece of food has its own like poop
Of value.
stat.
Yeah, so like a root is like ×3.
Okay.
And then
Lots of fiber in that.
you are dropping poop on different squares, and that increases your movement. And so you're
course it
trying
does.
to be the first one to rescue all of your babies before the dingo goes around and eats them.
Wow.
Look,
Wow.
Tim,
So
I asked for
wombats,
the strangest games, not the
Where do
most
you find
animal
these
abuse
games? Like, what kind of conventions do you go to?
I did have furries. I got unexploded cow, and now wombats pooping. Listen, I thought when a game where you poop and that affects your
Movement speed? Yeah.
is,
I mean, I feel lighter after pooping. I think I move a lot faster.
and judging by the smell,
Yeah.
you're like,
Oh,
the bathroom's this way.
Yeah, exactly. Help you like hone in on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's been eating Thai food.
Everything.
What was that? Was that P.F. Chang's? Where he had that South Park where he makes the pig. How many Keurigs is that?
So, Wombat Rescue, you are trying to save your babies from the dingo.
I could see, you know, there's Between Two Castles, Mad King Ludwig. I could see an awesome crossover called Wombats Rescue Polar Bears.
Right. And you're
Or-
pooping on
That could
icebergs.
be a
Pooping on
sick-
icebergs,
that
and then
could
they
be
melt
a
faster.
sick crossover.
Or exploding rescue wombats.
Unexploded wombat dingoes. Smartphone.
Anyway, Bob, please move
Bob,
us on.
So my number one is
No,
not
we know, we get it.
near as weird.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So my number one has
If it doesn't have
had
poop
me
in it, doesn't
doing
count.
some of the weirdest things I've ever done in a board game that I've actually ever done. I don't know. Tim's list not included. Meeple Circus.
Oh, Meeple Circus
We
is a
played
blast.
the Meeple Circus, the Giant Edition,
Yeah,
at
at IndieCon last
IndieCon last year, and like you are like you can't use your thumbs, and you're trying to make your meeples like stand up or do awkward things. You're trying to use your elbows to pick them up and place them on top of things. And it
Yeah.
is very weird.
It's so fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a dexterity kind of game.
Right.
You get cards and you earn points on like for depending on is your blue meeple up in the air? Don't put it there. He wants to be on the ground. Or your yellow meeple wants to be in the air, so you want to put him up atop and
But
yeah.
it's tough because you might only be able to use one hand. Or
Correct. You
two
might be
fingers.
one-handed or no thumbs, like
No-
I said, or
right.
just your elbows. Like
And so and the stacking gets-
becomes tricky.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is
Meeple
very-
Circus, tons
yeah,
of fun.
Tons of fun.
And there's
Do
like a
weird
giant.
things.
There's a giant edition out.
Yeah.
I hopefully is not only Kickstarter exclusive because that
No, I
Kickstarter was
don't-
a year ago.
I don't think so. Correct. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that
but the
the
giant
is
Meeple
now
Circus
available.
look great.
Yeah.
So yeah, right on, man.
That's
a
weird.
good one.
Yeah.
That just made me think of one too. An honorable mention, let's say.
Okay.
Sure.
The nut game that we played.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
so fast.
That's
Not
so fast.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, that's
Oh, man.
kind of weird though. Gonna
Yeah,
just,
a little weird.
throw that out
You gotta
there.
grab those nuts as fast
really
as you can.
simple, basic dexterity game, and then you make it that theme, and you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What is
It's
this?
good.
Yeah.
Let's say that's Dan's number one.
Yeah. That's a good one, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, good job.
Well, what's your number one?
So my number one, it's a VHS game.
Yes.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
Ooh, fingers crossed because it
Yeah, I
would
know,
be my
right?
just mentioned.
I know.
My just mentioned also ran whatever. Honorable mention.
It
There
is
you go.
based on a Disney IP.
Nope, I'm out.
I don't know.
And I've never seen the company do this before or since.
Uh-huh.
Probably
I
reason.
think I know what you're talking about.
Because
but I don't know what it's
VHSs don't
called.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, yeah. It's Gargoyles, the movie
No.
game.
You would like the Gargoyles game. You would.
I've only played it like once or twice, but the only way to get this game is to purchase Gargoyles, the movie VHS.
Oh, good luck with
Because
that.
it is tacked on at
Like
the end of the game.
Comes with it.
Or the movie.
Oh.
The game
The-
is tacked
The
on.
game
at
is
the
tapped
end of-
on at
yeah.
the end of the movie.
The
You
video.
gotta
It comes
fast
with all
forward past
the-
the credits.
Yeah, it comes with all the bits and boards you need to play, but you just
But you can find it on YouTube now.
probably.
Probably.
Because my honorable mention is similar. And
Oh.
you
Ooh,
can,
yeah.
interesting.
you can
Yeah.
you can cheat a little.
Huh.
Weird.
That's good. Gargoyles,
The movie,
what are you
the
doing in
movie,
the game.
the game.
What are you doing in the game?
You
Well, you're
basically are
gargoyles.
just playing out the movie you just saw.
You just
Well, I
you,
haven't seen the movie.
You
Maybe
are-
they haven't seen
you
the
are
movie.
you
sure they
crouch
have.
on the side of a building. Occasionally,
Yes.
Batman comes up,
Yeah.
talks to you,
Weeping Angels.
jumps off your face.
So yeah. So for
Spider-Man
anyone,
swings by,
for anyone
hits
who
you in the
doesn't know
face.
gargoyles, you're basically
Gargoyles.
Superhero type
gargoyles.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live during the night. You're stoned during the day, and you have to get
Hear that.
to.
Sorry.
you have to get basically you have to get to your like home tower. That's also where the bad guy lives.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanatos building, I think it's called, or something
You're
like
getting from where you're perched to your home tower.
something like that.
You've
Yeah.
broken me.
I haven't played the game since I was a kid, so it was like
Sure.
All right, Dan. What you got?
you really got yourself.
Okay.
He got me.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, my number one is Forgotten Waters because I've played it recently and it does a lot of things in a way that I've never seen before. So you make a character like RPG style kind of thing, like you Mad Lib it, but you have a character, they have a backstory kind of thing, right?
Mad Lib the board game.
You have a constellation that's everyone has a different shaped constellation. So mine shaped like an eyeball, and as I level up, I fill in the stars, and that gets me more stuff in my Mad Lib, which I have to fill out in order to win the game. It has a book that opens up, like what
Right.
you were talking about with fuzzy critters, stuffed fables.
Yeah. I
Um,
was like, wait, what?
Stuffed fables, where you open up the book and there's a worker placement
Sure.
Yep.
page on the right and this where you are on the left. There's a board where you're sailing your ship around, interacting with stuff and everything. So it just combines like RPG, like almost like a
Right.
Dungeons and Dragons type game with a worker placement game with moving a ship on a board game. Meanwhile, everyone has their own theme. So I'm the bosun, you're the first mate, and we all have a little thing we're keeping track of. Our ship has health. We have not morals.
We know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
who cares?
None.
You have a track that you go up. Whoever has the
Sure.
highest is first player and controls things and stuff. And it just combines things in a really crazy way. And on top of all that, it's the newest game in the Crossroads system
Right.
from
Ah.
Plaid Hat, and it by far does it the best. I mean,
Okay.
by far. It has a fully voice acted app that you play along with as well. Again, it's like why I like Taverns, right? They were like, let's take all these things that are good
Right.
and
Put 'em
somehow
together.
mix them together in this perfect
Sure.
concoction.
I
you
was
know?
going to kill you for a minute because the way that you started your thing is like, well, I don't know. I guess because I played this recently, I'm just going to say this one thing. You make it sound like I'm just arbitrarily going to just mention any game because I don't even care. And then you go on to describe this game that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing game. I can't
Yeah.
wait to play it.
Why do you sound so like, well, I mean, I guess.
Because
I guess there's this amazing
because it wouldn't be at the
game.
top of my list for weird games, but it
Sure.
does
I don't know.
combine
It,
things
it
in a
sounds
way that
very
I've never
unique.
seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, my weird game would be Shadow Network. Cause
That's weird. Weird game. You
All right,
put pieces
Tim.
All right,
together.
Weird us out.
So this one is not as weird,
Okay.
but it has one of my favorite like strange mechanics I've ever seen in a game. I play this game with adults. I play this game with my kids. I always have a good time. I went out originally and bought the German edition because you couldn't get it in the States.
Oh, you talked about this recently.
And but now you can get it
Yep.
from Brain Games. They rethemed it, but Fluch der Mummy,
Yeah.
which is like Flee the Mummy. It is a board
Yeah.
that stands up and it's magnetic, and so the archaeologists have pieces, little magnetic discs that fit on each side, and then there's the mummy. Or no, the archaeologist discs are only on one side, and the mummies is on both sides. And so the archaeologists that are trying to raid this tomb can see where the mummy is as he moves around. The mummy does not know where the archaeologists are, except when there are these little icons on the board, like artifacts you're trying to collect. And everybody's got different ones because you're going to draw one of each color. There's like 5 colors. And so there's like 5 different things out of each of the colors. So just because you need a green artifact, it could be any one of these in this section. But when you get one, you got to play it and say, I got this one. So now I know where you're at because that's where you just ended
Right.
your turn.
Yeah. Okay.
And I might be near you. The other fun thing is you get like 4 dice to roll. And if you roll the mummy sign on it, you have to give that die to the mummy. And that adds 1 to the mummy's movement.
Nice.
And at any time, so the dice are, your dice pool is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Because as you roll the mummies, they go away. So at any time, you can just say, I'm going to let the mummy take an extra move. And then he's going to move a space for each die that he gives back to you. And so the mummy's going to move because that might also screw over your opponent.
Right. If
Because
you keep the mummies
okay.
next to where they might
right,
be.
because if Dan just played a card and it's like, oh, the mummy's like 3 spaces from him. Go ahead, mummy. Take your turn. And so then the cool thing is that when the mummy's piece slides over the archaeologist or whatever, your piece like flips up and stacks on top of it. And so you hear that click, and you're like, "Oh, I got him! I got somebody!" And then when you get somebody,
crazy.
you put their little piece down in the tomb, so they restart down there. You've got 3 ankhs. So basically, if the mummy catches you 3 times, you're out.
Okay.
And it's first one to find all 5 of their artifacts. This is like a fantastic game. So I think it's Brain Games. They did like Ice Cool and Ice Cool 2.
okay.
They rethemed it with the Ice Cool
Penguins,
and
yeah.
it's called Pyramid of the Penguin.
Okay.
It's good too. Yeah, it's fun. But I like my old,
Pyramid
Mummy
of the
one.
Penguin.
Yes.
Penguin. Penguin. PEN Queen.
Oh,
They
I
were
thought
like,
you I thought you
they
were
were like,
playing
hey,
a Benedict
Benedict
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch, could you name this game for us really quick?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so Fluch der Mummy
Yeah.
or the Mummy, Flee the Mummy,
Flee the mummy.
whatever. I'm probably saying that wrong.
You are.
You are.
I don't care.
Uh,
It's fantastic. I love that game.
So speaking of magnet games, I'll go to my honorable mention real quick.
Yeah.
Zero Gravity. It's,
I haven't played this yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't had a chance to play it either. That's why it wasn't
yeah.
on my list. But it's very weird, and it's got magnets in it. You've got a
This
cube.
one. Okay, yeah, I want to
Yeah.
play this. Yeah.
And you've got 2 teams, and you're doing things like capture the flag, or like take your ball and like dunk it in their zone or whatever. But you're moving around, and you've got magnets and grab boots, so you can like run up the walls, go on the ceiling. You can drop from the ceiling down to the bottom, and it's really neat because it's all magnetic. And now the games like that.
Yeah,
Well,
So it seems like a really neat little weird.
magnets in games are cool.
I'm gonna say when you were talking about VHS games and I got all excited was
yes.
because of Nightmare
Oh,
or
yeah.
Atmosphere. I have 2 different versions of Atmosphere. I don't have the old coffin box of Nightmare anymore. But if you do have that and you don't have a VCR, never fear. You can find the videos on YouTube, and they work.
Cool.
We have done that. That is a great convention. Like drink some beer, play some games.
Right.
Late
Screw
at night.
around kind of thing.
Yeah, just goofing around, laughing at whoever's getting yelled at by the
That's right.
gatekeeper or whatever. But yeah,
You
who is the
reminded-
chosen one?
You remind me of another honorable mention. Haven't played this, but I have a friend who collects a bunch of weird, obscure board games.
Okay.
And he has a VHS game that I was like, that makes sense, but apparently it's not very good, according to him. Wayne's World, the VHS game.
Oh, I would be totally
Wayne's
into it.
World, Wayne's
Sounds
World.
excellent.
Right.
But apparently, apparently it's not that great. So
Sure,
I don't
probably
know.
not. Another one with like an awesome theme that's really weird is the Bloody Inn. Great artwork,
yeah.
and you are you're an innkeeper, and you've got to decide whether you are going to let these guests stay in your room. Maybe you're going to murder them and then bury them under certain
more room.
rooms. Yeah, to make more room. But then every once in a while, investigators come through, and so you've got to be able to
Hide the body.
negotiate
Yeah.
that,
People
hide
keep
the
going
bodies.
missing in this area.
Yeah, it's a great, weird,
Theme.
diabolical
Yeah.
theme.
Yeah,
but
I want to play it so bad.
it's
It
a lot of
sounds
fun.
Hilarious.
we should try to play it next weekend.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity
see.
to play some games.
We'll
next
see.
week.
Well, hopefully.
Ooh.
I'm trying my best.
We'll work around that.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So, what are your favorite top 5 weird games? Weird theme, weird
Yes.
mechanic.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to name a lot of games I've never heard of before. So please
Sure.
have at it. I will Google all the games you guys say.
What's
in the
your
comment section.
favorite game with poop in it? What's
Oh,
your
God.
favorite game with cows or blowing up mines?
How many of you played the Gargoyles
Yeah,
VHS
I came
game?
through.
That's
I came
pretty
through
good.
this week with
That's
some
pretty good.
some good ones.
That's pretty weird.
But anyways, don't forget we still have our subscription drive going. Always check out our friends at the Board Game Mechanics. They're pretty okay.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much for liking and subscribing and ringing that bell. The ringing the bell just helps you. The
Yeah.
other ones help us.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of times we'll mention something and like it's this Kickstarter's ending in a couple of days. Well, if you ring the bell and you know the video is up and you see it, you can still get it on that Kickstarter.
And also check out our good friend CJ over at the Miniature Rundown.
I
Yeah.
sometimes pop up over there.
Yep. He was
Yeah.
on. He was on last week's episode. You probably saw him. Fun miniature stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they paint and do all kinds of cool things over there.
Yep. They paint.
They paint.
So, anything else?
That's all I
Nah,
got.
dude.
That's
Nah,
it.
All right.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Let
Sure.
PETA know
Play a
what
board
kind
game
of
with a loved one.
games
Yep.
involve animal.
Listen, it was a mad cow. These are specifically mad cows.
Oh,
They're a
okay.
disease.
Well, they're suffering.
You wouldn't be very happy either if you were sent over to walk across mines.
Well, they were already mad before
Oh,
that.
They're mad before that.
Yeah, so don't be a cranky butt. We're going to send you over to France.
Moo.
Moo moo.
Now you just sound depressed. Not
That's
cranky.
my mad cow disease.
Moo. Moo moo. Moo,
Guys,
moo.
we're done. Tell them to stop talking.
All right.
I hope we wrapped like 10 minutes ago.
I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
I've been Jeff.
And we've been weird. This has been the Board Game Rundown. We'll see you next time.
Whatever, Darkheart.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.